And here is the Writer's Almanac for Saturday. It's the 18th of December, 2021. It's the birthday of Charles Wesley, Epworth, England, 1707. He and his brother John Wesley, founders of Methodism. They came over to America on a mission to Georgia. It was a big failure, went back home. It was a miserable voyage. And once Charles Wesley got back to England, he had the great religious awakening that he had been waiting for. And a few days later, John Wesley had one too, and they set out around the countryside on horseback, preaching to coal miners, prison inmates, to anybody who would gather in the open air to see them. And Charles Wesley set out to write hymns. He admired the Moravians for their hymn-singing tradition, and Charles Wesley wrote his hymns to be sung by anybody out in the open air. He wrote "Oh, for a Thousand Tongues to Sing." He wrote "Hark, the Herald Angels Sing," and hundreds of others. It's the birthday of the short story writer Saki, born Hector Hugh Munro in Burma, a British colony at the time, in 1870. Who wrote short stories satirizing upper-class Edwardian society, the society that he had been raised in. Saki, who was killed in 1916 in World War I by a German sniper. Apparently his last words were, "Put that bloody cigarette out." It's the birthday of Ty Cobb, Narrows, Georgia, 1886. He was 18 years old when he made his debut with the Detroit Tigers. 3 weeks before, his mother had shot and killed his father outside their house. Apparently she thought he was an intruder. Ty Cobb, famous as a great competitor, who still has the highest lifetime batting average of all time. And it's the birthday of Fletcher Henderson, Cuthbert, Georgia, 1897, majored in chemistry at Atlanta University, moved to New York City to find work, and instead was hired to play piano on a Hudson riverboat. And several years later, he formed the Fletcher Henderson Orchestra. His jazz arrangements emphasized the horns and left room for improvised solos in between the arranged passages. It was a new sound for big band jazz. Here's a poem for today by Carolyn Wright. The title of the poem from a news bulletin: "Neck-broken, resourceful cyclist walks to emergency room." Too late, the bus slammed on its brakes, the rider thrown over her mangled handlebars against the bus grill's bent metallic grimace, her neck's seventh vertebra ruptured. The woman gripped her head between her palms and stood and walked to the ER a block away. Noon darkness aglow with the accident's split-second flash. To let go would kick the stool out from under the noose-necked prisoner. "But I wanted to live," she told reporters later. "I didn't dare to break that wishbone with myself. How else to command each cell hold its balance, inner fire, cold as knowing her own life, could she ever again take it so completely in her hands?" A poem by Carolyn Wright, "Neck-broken, resourceful cyclist walks to emergency room," from her collection This Dream the World, new and selected poems, published by Lost Horse Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac.